Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is episode 15 of Manifest with Me in March. So you guys, where are we at in the moon cycle? It is the first quarter moon, which means when you look up in the sky, the moon will appear as if it is split in half. So yesterday we started our take action phase of the moon cycle because that's what the first quarter moon is all about. The day before that, you should have written down some ideas of doable action steps that you can take that have to do with your intentions. Yesterday, you were supposed to take a couple of those action steps, and today you are supposed to continue with that. I'll be honest with you guys, I was feeling kind of tired yesterday, but before I went to bed, I did do a little bit of work that I had as an idea for my action steps. So you have about a week to do these action steps. It's a very, very important part of the cycle. Today's message is just about staying involved, staying committed on this journey, how worth it can be for you to stay committed to these action steps. I also want to clarify a little bit about what the manifestation process is about. So sometimes when you're like reading spiritual or like law of attraction memes or whatever online, you see things that say like, just decide that it's yours and it will be, or imagine that it's true and it'll come in your life, or ask and you shall receive. So there is some truth to these types of statements. You really can manifest whatever you want. This is an abundant, limitless universe. There are many options and many opportunities for you. And the mindset and being positive about that is a huge part of this journey, and definitely something that I talk about on my channel. But I do feel like in the spiritual community and with a lot of people who do believe in like law of attraction and stuff like that, I feel like I don't hear enough or see enough how important taking action really is. Sometimes it almost seems like you're just giving up all your power or all your control to the universe or to God or whatever, and you just kind of sit back and don't do anything, and you manifest a complete miracle out of nowhere. There have been times where that has happened for me. There have been times where I have manifested things out of the blue. I've prayed, it's come true, and I feel like I did absolutely nothing besides ask for it. So that is definitely one way that your manifestation can come about. But most of the time, the big manifestations that I've had that have come true in my life have been from following my inner guidance and taking action. I think that it's a balance. It's a balance between knowing when to rest and knowing when to be open to receive, and also knowing when it's time to like hustle and grind and make it happen. So I'm going to use a manifestation that came through for me, something I talk about on the channel a lot because I'm really excited and I love sharing it with you guys. This manifestation is world travel. I'm currently in a really awesome country called Tbilisi, Georgia. I'm probably headed to Bali next, probably after that New Zealand, and after that who knows. Like, I wanted to spend a couple years just traveling and doing kind of like a slow travel method where I got to be in each place for a couple months and actually be able to really live and take part of the culture in each area and make some of my art, do some work for my fashion job, and of course be able to learn more about spirituality and more about different cultures and meet new friends and have new experiences. And I also really wanted to get out into nature more. I wanted to be able to see waterfalls and just like breathtaking, amazing different parts of this earth and planet. So I started thinking about this a couple years ago. I mean, my whole life I had been wanting to manifest travel. And so I started really seriously thinking about it, I think in like 2017. I remember on the new year, I was just really thinking about what I wanted, and I was living in LA at the time and I was feeling really trapped. I mean, I loved LA, it was super fun and I had so many friends there and so many opportunities, but I was feeling really like oppressed by the city and like the culture, and I was just like, am I gonna be stuck here forever? I had grown up in California my whole life, beautiful place, you know, I still feel blessed that I got to grow up there, and I still think about it and miss it, but I was like, it's a whole big world, and I'm an Aquarius. Like, I want to travel, I want to see everything, and I want to have a lifestyle where I feel free and where I can do anything and go anywhere. And if I just want to spontaneously book a plane trip, I don't have to worry about the money, and I don't have to worry about how it's going to happen. I can just follow my heart, and I can go wherever I want to go. I mean, that's ultimate freedom. You know, for someone who's an Aquarius, freedom is super important. Not being chained down to like a 9-to-5 job is super important. Not feeling like you have to answer to like any other authority but yourself is extremely important as an Aquarius, and maybe that sounds important to you as well. So I started working on this, and so of course the first thing I did was I wrote down my intentions. I wrote down exactly what I wanted, certain places I wanted to go. Actually, this is the first thing that I did. I made this. I still travel with this. It's so funny because I was actually at the airport once, and I actually bring this in my carry-on because it's really important to me that I don't lose this. And when my bag was getting checked, the guy like pulled it out. Excuse me. I didn't drink my tea this morning and my throat's all like, it's very like dusty here today. Anyways, so at the airport, the guy just like pulled this out and was like, what is this? And I was like, it's my mood board. He was like, okay, put it back. I'm like, it's not a weapon, don't worry. Anyways, I love this. I travel with it everywhere. And as you can see, I wrote down like all these different places I wanted to go, the kind of life I wanted to live. I'll kind of show you some details. Coexist, dreams come true. You can see London on here. I spend a lot of time there. New York. It's funny because I really wanted to go to New York, and I've been there a couple times, but now I'm like whatever about it because I've seen other places. Italy's on here. I lived in Italy for 3 months. I'll probably be going back next year. Yeah, there's so many things on here. Some of these things haven't even come true yet. So connection, freedom, travel, exotic locations, nature, animals, horses. I'm gonna be getting horseback riding. Yeah, countryside cottage. I've stayed in a lot of places like that, little cottages in like the forest and in nature along this journey. Magazines, media, harmony. So I don't know, this just makes me smile when I see it because it's like I remember where I was at when I made this. I was crying and I got my watercolors out and I just watched a couple YouTube videos about the law of attraction, write it down, make it happen, make a vision board, and I just made this and I hung it up. And you can still see like the tape from where I hung it up on my wall in my old apartment. And I would stare at it every day and I was just like, this shit is coming true. Like, I'm gonna get out of this. I don't wanna be here. I feel trapped. Like, has anybody else lived in a studio? I'm trying to get the lighting right. Like a studio apartment in the middle of a big city. It's awesome. Cities are awesome. Loved LA, but after a while you can feel trapped. And so that's where I was at the time. So I wrote it down and I spent time visualizing it. I added a bunch of pictures to my vision board, and like on Pinterest, I made a huge vision board of all the places I wanted to go. And it was funny too, because when people started asking me like what my plans were in my life and like things I wanted to do, I'd always tell them, oh yeah, I'm actually gonna be traveling the world really soon. I'm gonna be, I don't know if I'll be in LA much longer. And it was funny because at the time I didn't have any savings for my travel. I had no plan. I didn't know how I was gonna do it, but I just knew in my heart I was gonna make it happen. And I just started telling some people that when they were like, oh yeah, what's your deal? Like, what are you up to? I'm like, oh, I'm just getting ready, preparing to do some traveling. I'm gonna go to London and spend some time in Paris and maybe go over to Asia and, you know, just travel. And so after that, there came this point where it had been like a year and like nothing had manifested yet. And I was really frustrated and kind of upset and just like, you know, universe, where the heck is my manifestation? It's not coming, like, where's the opportunity? And I think it's because when I first started manifesting, I just thought like, it'll just fall in your lap. I had some other things I had manifested that literally fell in my lap, and it was the coolest experience. And I was like, why isn't this coming? And I started realizing that like whatever you put out in life is what you get back. And so if you're trying to manifest something really big, you're trying to go from here to like here, that's like a quantum leap. So whatever's inside you is going to manifest on the outside. Like the universe is mirroring to you who you are and what's inside. And so I realized I'm going to have to work on what's inside of me in order to be able to manifest these things. Like I need to change my mindset. I need to stop thinking like I'm poor, I don't have enough money, I'm stuck, or, you know, I need to stop worrying about the bills. I need to stop spending money on random shit. I need to start saving. I need to figure out like the logical part of this. Like how am I actually practically going to get from where I am to traveling the world? And so it was kind of a light bulb moment for me because I'm a big dreamer, I'm a schemer, I love creating and planning things, and I just realized I'm gonna have to plan this out just like I plan out my photo shoots. I'm gonna have to plan this out just like I plan out my creative ideas. So I need to think about like, okay, what tools do I need? What resources do I need? Like, how am I gonna get there? Do the research. So that's like the next thing I started doing was really researching, like, how much does a plane ticket cost? Like, how much are the Airbnbs typically in like the locations I wanna stay in? Like, what kind of experience do I want to have? Do I want to stay in hostels or do I want to stay in nice places? And I was like, hell no, am I staying in hostels? I think it's great for people out there that do that. I'm just a little bit extra, and I was like, I really want to be relaxed and like have a space to do my readings and continue my business. And if people want to come over to do makeup for a photo shoot, like I have a place for them to set up or enough room to set up a little mini studio. And so I started like researching and saving places to my wish list about exactly what kind of places I wanted to manifest and how much it was going to cost, and you know, what kind of visas I needed and how long I could travel for, and just everything. Like there were so many things, traveler's insurance, paying off bills, getting like certain, like I was like, maybe before I go, I should get all my dental work done and like everything good. And how am I going to get medicine while I travel? And like, there was just so many different questions. And so I started researching and like figuring all of that out, like all of the details. And then once I realized what it was gonna take and like I came up with a dollar amount that I needed to manifest, it was like freaky because I was like, that is a lot of money. How in the hell am I gonna do that? And it kind of depressed me even more once I realized like the logical steps, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna like have that in my mind and keep manifesting that number, and I'm gonna trust my heart. So the next thing I did was I realized like, okay, I need to clear out my root chakra. I need to really let go of like poverty consciousness and lack mentality. I need to stop seeing myself and defining myself by my past and who I've been and what my life has been, because before this, my whole life was like a struggle. Gosh, you guys, I can't even tell you what I went through because it's like a whole thing, and I've really let go of that story. I don't even want to say it anymore, but I went through a lot. You guys know I've talked about it. I've suffered from abuse. I started working when I was age 15. Didn't really come from a wealthy family or anything. Didn't really come from a privileged background. I overcame a lot in my life. And so I had to kind of work from the ground up. And so inside of me, I still kind of thought like, I'm poor, I'm not worthy, I'm a victim, I'm, you know, scared and worried about things, and that mindset still kind of follows you even if you transcend it. So I was just like, I have to transcend this mindset. So I started doing yoga like every day, and I started, something that really helped me, which I need to start doing again, was I started running in LA at like the Silver Lake Reservoir. I would drive there almost every day, and I would listen to music that kind of reminded me of my past or kind of made me sad, or like, and I would just run listening to that music. And sometimes I would cry a little bit, like hopefully people just thought it was sweat. And I'd always wear like a hat and all my sunscreen and stuff, so it was kind of incognito, but I would just listen to it and try to just kind of let those feelings go and release it. I did meditation, I did therapy, I did so many things. I read books and surrounded myself with information that made me feel like uplifted. I listened to Infinite Waters, And around this time I started my channel and was like, I want to, like, I was getting pumped up and I was like, I want to help other people. Like, I'm on this journey and I want to like just put my 2 cents in and try to help people or whatever, and like just put some good vibes and help bring peace into people's lives, and just create a safe space for people to feel like there's someone out there that knows how they feel. So I was just like really going for it and making my life better. And coincidentally, this was also my spiritual awakening. I mean, I think my spiritual awakening was caused by many things, but a lot of it was just this big desire that I had to change my life, to be different, to really manifest my dreams. I'd always had big goals and dreams for my life. It's just I was always kind of afraid of achieving them. So I always kind of went halfway with them instead of just going all the way. And I was just like, there's nothing holding me back but myself. And so I actually did the grind. I took action. I did the hustle. So after kind of working on my inner self, which that went on for like another year, I got to this point where I felt better and my whole life has changed, and I started manifesting more things that were in alignment, and a lot of the action I had taken had paid off. But still, I didn't really have a lot of money saved up for my travel. I still didn't have that plane ticket book. I still didn't know when I was going to leave. I was still a little frustrated. And so there came a point where I was like, okay, how much money do I need? I had that number and I drew this, I don't know, I drew this picture. I don't have it with me, but it was like a thermometer. And I put little lines and I put $200 increments all the way until I reached that number. And I opened up a savings account and I just put $200 in it. And it really hurt because I was like, damn, this $200 could be like another photo shoot, or it could be me going out with my friends, or it could be like a really legit pair of shoes or something. But I just did it. I put that in the account and then I colored in the little thermometer, and it was cool because it was hanging in my room and I was like, wow, like I'm actually making it towards my goal. And I just kept doing that little by little, and eventually I saw like, damn, it's taking me so long to actually raise this money, and I just want to get the hell out of here. And so I was like, okay, I need to think of other ways to make money. I've got to figure something out. So around that time, I realized I really like makeup and I've hung out with a lot of makeup artists, and I'm a fashion stylist already, and I was getting decent fashion jobs, but every fashion job I got, it takes like a week or 2 weeks to prepare for it. And it's so much work. It's not something you can just show up for. Like, you have to pull the clothes, you have to talk to the people, you got to come up with a vision board. It's like this whole shebang. It can be really exhausting. I love it, but it's not, and it pays really well, but I was like, I still need to make way more money than this. So I was like, maybe I can become a makeup artist. So I went on YouTube and I started like doing YouTube tutorials and like training myself how to do eyebrows and how to do everything. And don't judge my makeup today because this foundation color is like way too dark for my skin. But anyways, I had a couple friends who were makeup artists I'd worked with and hung out with them, and I started doing like trying out makeup things and doing the models' makeup at my photo shoots. I put pictures up online. I like kind of put it out there, put some feelers out that I'm doing makeup. And honestly, I can't really do super complicated stuff, but I can do like a basic face. In LA, that's what they want. They just want glowy, sun-kissed, like dewy skin, and I got really good at that look. And so I actually booked a couple of jobs doing that, and each makeup job is like $300. And so all of a sudden, bam, 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 I started making a lot more money from trying something new. I also started selling stuff on eBay. Since I was like, I'm going to be traveling the world, like I started selling all of my furniture. I had a lot of designer clothes and like shoes. I started selling those to friends or like on eBay. I started getting rid of all my possessions and I started getting ready to go on this trip. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make this happen. So I started selling all my stuff. And then I actually came up with another idea to give modeling classes in my local area using lessons.com. I was like, I work with models all the time. Like, I used to model back in the day. I have friends who are photographers who can help with this. And so I put myself up on lessons.com and I started doing modeling lessons, like teaching girls how to do the runway walk and teaching them how to get in the industry and some of these girls I was even able to hook up and get signed with agencies after they did modeling school with me. And so I did that for a while, which made really good money. And so I just like was thinking of random ideas, you know, had to get a business license and all that jazz, but it's really not that expensive. Because sometimes it's like, oh, I got to do taxes or business license if I'm going to start something like that. But it's really not that hard, and you can hire people for like $200 to help you figure it all out. So I kind of did that, and then eventually I got featured on lessons.com as like a modeling instructor, and I got a ton of clients from that. So I was busy. I was doing tarot readings, I was doing the modeling lessons, I was traveling to LA to do my fashion styling, I was doing makeup artist work. So, and funny enough, I even modeled for a friend or two during the time who wanted more of like a curvy model for them, for their clothing line. So I even got paid for that. And so it was pretty cool. I got rid of stuff, and my husband also got an extra job, and he got like a promotion and applied for like this new job during the same time. And so we were just hustling so hard to make this happen. And little by little, I filled up the thermometer, and finally it reached the top. And I'll never forget the day that I realized how much money I had and like where everything was at. I just went online and booked an Airbnb for like 3 months in France. And when my husband came home, I told him, I was like, guess what? We're not going to renew our lease. We're going to Europe. We're leaving. And he was like, what? I was like, yep, I booked the ticket. I booked the Airbnb, and I'm about to book the flight. And he was like, oh my gosh, he was so excited. And it kind of hit him that he was going to quit his job and come with me and do his photography more full time and his astrology work. And it kind of hit me that, you know, I get to leave this whole thing behind, and I get to start over, and everything can be new. And so fast forward a couple months later, I've gotten rid of everything. I put my car in storage, and I'm on a plane on my way to France. And it's been a year since then now. That was April of last year. And I always thought I'd be going back to LA. I always thought maybe I'd just like settle somewhere. But I'm still on this journey to today. And what I've realized is it's actually way more affordable, like way cheaper and more affordable to travel than it was for me to live in California. And I can have really nice apartments and go all these different places and meet all these different people, and I have way more work opportunities out here. Like, they pay way more in Europe for fashion styling and makeup work than they do in the US. And everywhere I go, there's like a fashion community, and like they want to hire me because they're like, oh, you're from America. So it's been cool. I've made a lot of friends, and I made a lot of work partnerships, and it's just been such an amazing adventure. And I've realized, like, wow, I really did manifest freedom. I really did manifest this life of travel. I really did manifest all of these opportunities. But I also look back and realize that I worked for it, that I made it happen, that I did everything I could. I thought of as many ideas as I could, and I just did a little bit of work every day. There were a couple times I was overwhelmed by my work, but for the most part, I would just wake up every day and be like, okay, today, what can I do? So that's my challenge for you guys. That's like my little story about how I manifested this awesome experience. It's the coolest thing ever. Some days I still wake up and feel like, wow, like, what did I do to deserve this? But I remind myself, like, I worked my ass off for this, And the best thing is that the manifestation part, the part that the universe does, is like the things I could have never planned. Like some of the relationships that I made during this trip, some of the jobs that I've landed here, finding the perfect place at the perfect price at the right time, meeting friends that want to collaborate or like let me stay with them or whatever. Like, there's been a lot of that's happened on this journey as well in my new life that I could have never planned. But I think that luck or manifestation is the meeting of preparation and persistence. I think I read that somewhere, so I don't know who I'm quoting, but you have to prepare. You have to be persistent. You have to do the work. And then the magic is like the little opportunities and synchronicities and like random things that the universe brings along to kind of help you. And so think of it as, you know, have you ever, like when you were little, your parents like open you up a savings account? This never happened to me, by the way, but I wish it did. Your parents like open you up a savings account and they're like, if you save up 1,000, I'll match that and I'll put another 1,000 in it. So I don't know why I did that accent. I just pictured like a grandpa being like, if you save up $2,000, then I'll match that and give you another 2,000. Then you can buy your first car. Did anyone have a parent or grandparent or family member or someone that was kind of like that with them? That's kind of how the universe is. It's like the universe loves you. The universe wants to see you succeed. It wants to help you. It's like an aspect of you. It's like a loving force around you. And you know, you put some work in, you put some momentum in, and the rest will come to you. You take one step, the next step comes to you. And so that's kind of what this is all about, okay? I don't know if I would have been able to travel the world if I hadn't done the work, if I hadn't thought of all those ideas. There came a point where like I physically had to save the money. So some of you guys are sitting around waiting for stuff to fall out of the sky and really upset and just waiting for your situation to change. And it can and it will. And sometimes opportunities come out of nowhere, but you have to remember that you have the power. And that's what this week is all about. This week, taking action, first quarter moon, you have the power. Make it happen, take some action, just do something. It doesn't matter what it is that you do, it just matters that you do something. So I hope you guys are really inspired. I hope hearing my story really helps. Anyone out there who's trying to manifest travel, let me know in the comments below. If you're having trouble thinking of action steps, let me know below. Like I write every single comment back, like at least I try to. And if you need help with anything, then I'll help you. If you like are asking for a free reading or like, what do I do about this guy? I'm sorry, you gotta purchase a reading from me or do a pick a card reading. But if you have questions about the manifestation process or like, you know, I want to manifest this, but I don't know what action step to take or something, let me know and I can help brainstorm with you and answer the questions you have in the comments below. Also share below if you have a story like mine where you manifested something and like awesome synchronicities came, but you also like did the work. I want to hear stories about people who've worked to make something happen and it's happened for them. So let me know a story below about a time that like you worked for something or you took action and it actually paid off. So thank you guys so much for your support. I'm here to encourage you guys along this manifestation process, and I'll see you guys here tomorrow for episode 16. Peace out.